I'm going to give you 10 tips to help you pass your driving test here. Now, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, click on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and if you like the videos, click like. And what I'm also going to do in the description, I'm going to put a timeline against each tip. So if you want to check out in the description exactly what tips I'm going to give, then you want to skip that tip, that's fine. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, that'll be appreciated too. Know all your manoeuvres on the driving test in the UK, and there's 4 manoeuvres plus an emergency stop. Now, just so you know, you've got your parallel park, you've got your reverse bay parking, forward bay parking, and park on the right. So be quite good at them. Know what to do if they go wrong, so practice them if they go wrong. And the emergency stop, it's not a class as a manoeuvre, but 1 in 4 will be asked to do it. So it's a random one, so you might not get asked it, you might get asked it. It depends on the test route and the examiner, so be prepared for that. So the next tip is independent driving on the UK driving test. Now, it lasts for 20 minutes, so half of the test is independent driving. And if you're not used to it, then you're going to make silly mistakes. So there's 2 types of independent driving. You've got the road signs, so practice looking ahead of there, follow the road signs. So if you live near a town centre, follow the road signs to the town centre. Practice with your family member or your instructor. And the other one is the sat nav. Practice with that, because it's like anything. If you put a new toy on the dashboard, you stare at it. So I'll put a video at the top for sat nav practice if you want to watch that one. But do practice both of them. Be good at them and know what to do when things go wrong on them. So this one is it crops up every now and then, is check the date and the time of your driving test. Now, it's quite important. Over the years, I've turned up sometimes a week early because my student said it's on this time, or even late for the driving test. So check the time on it, check the date on it, make sure you're not getting mixed up with the cancellation date, and do check your emails, because if the DVSA have to cancel your driving test, they'll send you an email, even if it's on the day of the test. And sometimes it goes into junk folder, so keep an eye on your emails leading up to your driving test. In the past, on the driving test day, the examiner's going to expect you to bring your license. Now, at the moment, they're expecting you to bring your driving license, that's a provisional, that is, and your theory test certificate. So if you've lost it, you need to find it. If you can't find it, contact the test centre where you took the theory test and get them to send you either a duplicate via email or some information about it. So when you turn up for your driving test with your instructor or your family member, you've got your theory test certificate in one hand and your provisional driving licence in the other. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen is the examiner will say, sorry, can't take you. So bring them both along and you'll be fine. The show me tell me questions for the UK driving test, I'll put a link to a video below if you want to watch the full set. But what will happen is, I mean, most people know them, but if you don't, you need to watch the video because there's quite a few. They're not hard if you know them. At the beginning of the driving test, they're going to ask you to tell them an answer to a question they'll ask you. And the simple ones like, can you tell me how you set the head restraints? So don't be worried about them, but you need to know them. Because if you get them wrong, it's going to be a fault on your driving test straight away. And also, when you're driving round, they're going to ask you to show them something, like show me how you'd use the horn, or show me how you would set the demisters. So know the questions, practice the questions, practice driving in the car the show me ones, so that you're not kind of fumbling them, and be prepared for the question. Before you can get in the car, the examiner's going to ask you to do an eyesight test. Now, it's an hard one, 20 metres away. Practice it. And I say this because in the past I've had people who've come to me who've had lessons, who've never had an eyesight test. And I'll give you an example. One girl who years ago came to me and she couldn't even read a reg plate 20 metres away, because that's what they wanted. That's the distance, 20 metres away it is. And I said to step forward to half that distance, and she pulled out some glasses and put them on. Still couldn't read the reg plate, so I said to her, I can't take you for lessons. You need to go and get an eyesight test, which she did. She needed new glasses, new prescription. She came back, she was fine. We had lessons, took a test and passed. Now, if you can't read that reg plate from 20 metres away, they're probably going to measure it, and they'll give you a couple of tries to do it. If you can't read it and you're struggling, you're not going to be able to take your driving test, so practice it. Make sure you're happy. It's just a quick with your instructor. Simple as that. Nothing hard. But if you've never done it before and you're fumbling it, it's going to put you under pressure straight away. But if you are good at it, fantastic. So if your driving test is at, say, 10 o'clock in the morning, then don't kind of give yourself just enough time to get to test centre from where you live, because you're probably going to want to do a bit of driving around that day. Give yourself time to get to test centre, maybe 15 minutes before it starts. So you're just round the corner and you kind of pull over and you're ready. So that it's, because it does say that you can't drive in until 5 minutes before your driving test. But if you're thinking, well, I'll just drive up there and just drive straight in, well, after driving around, you might not be in there a few minutes late and you might get stuck in traffic. So get yourself close to the test centre so that you're not under pressure and you're ready to drive in. Your first 5 minutes of the driving test is so critical, because you're going to be a little bit nervous and you've got to stay focused. You've got to stay switched on in that first few minutes, because if you don't, you're going to make a silly mistake. It's going to cost you that driving test. It's a lot of money. So when the examiner says, right, start the engine and drive off when it's safe to do so, be ready for it. Do what you normally do when you drive off. Check round. Be ready for that first junction. Because after the first few minutes, you'll settle down. But nerves could play a difference, could play a part with how you handle that test. So remember, be switched on. Be ready for anything. So it's going to feel weird, but listen to that examiner when they're talking to you. It could be a man or a woman who's going to be taking that test next to you, and there's going to be a lot of quiet periods of the driving test where it's silent. So listen to what they're saying and repeat it to yourself in your head, or repeat it out loud. So just like when you're out with your instructor and they say, take the next left, and then they'll say to you, remember, it's left turn. The examiner's not going to say that to you. They're going to say it once. So repeat it in your head if it helps. Stay focused on your driving test. It's quite an important one to know what you want to be doing and not be put off by the silence, because when you're driving round, the examiner's not going to say much to you apart from maybe left turns or right turns or pull over or give you an instruction. But in between that, there's going to be lots of silence, and especially on your independent driving when you've got 20 minutes to get on with things and they're going to say nothing to you. So keep yourself focused, and what you want to be saying is, check her ahead of me, check my rear view mirrors, check my speed. So you're constantly thinking about things, and otherwise you're going to switch off and you're going to maybe daydream for a few seconds, not intentionally, but because of the fact that you're thinking, right, okay, I've got a good speed here now, and for the next few seconds I'm all right. Well, for the next few seconds where you've got nothing to do, check your rear view mirror, check your side mirrors, kind of thing. So you're doing things, your brain's constantly thinking about things rather than thinking that everything's done. Good luck on the driving test, and I'm hoping these tips help you. If they do, fantastic. Safe driving, and I hope it's a pass for you.